Shalom, shalom. Before I begin this lesson, I want to give all praise, honor, and the glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, bishop, and elders, a great millstone that rule well. And peace and blessings be multiplied on all you brethren out there teaching his word in all sincerity and in truth. Shalom to the hopeful elect, the 144,000, and the rest of the elect out there. I'm the brother Damal Gabar, here with another lesson, Lord willing to edify through the spirit and power of Yahweh by Yahweh Shai. All right, this is not going to be a long video, but I got this Psalms 58 chapter lined up, which is basically in a prayer for the punishment of the wicked. All right, and I'm going to read it in the NLT, but first I'm going to show you this quick little 3-minute video with Piers Morgan and this so-called mother of the Israelis, the small hats, all right? And you're going to hear him ask her a particular question, but you're just going to see the spirit and the nature of the wicked, all right? Those small hats, man, you know, they're a very vile, brutal, you know, unforgiving, very, you know, bloodthirsty, just demonic ass people, you know. And these are the biblical Edomites, you know, mainly Amalek, the small hats, the chief of all Esau, Edom. All right. And this is their nature on full display. All right. I'm going to play this little quick video and I'm going to come back here and read this precept. Hey, and this is why, you know, when Esau, Edom's judgment really is brought down upon him, you know, upon the nation of Esau, Edom, all the dukes of Edom, all of these Edomites, these Amaleks, you know, these small hats, the so-called Edomites over here in Babylon the Great, man. Hey, nobody is going to hinder and nobody is going to, you know, have any sympathy for these devils because, hey, they've never had no sympathy. They've never had no compassion. Hey, they've loved to shed blood. So when it's going to be time for their blood to be shed and it's time for them to be rightfully judged, man, hey, everybody's going to hoot and holler and cheer. And nobody is going to hinder, man. Nobody's going to come to their aid. Nobody's going to come to their defense because it's just time for them to get what they deserve, man. And this demonic woman's sentiment, you know, says it all, man. So let me play this little quick video and then and watch the arrogance and the pride and the smugness on this demon, man. Hey, this is the SHEDOMITE in her purest form, man. So let's check this out. It's about 3 minutes long. And then I'm going to read this precept and I'm going to close it out. So just check this out.
How do you feel about the fact that over 20,000 Palestinian children have now been killed since?
Oh, and fair use. You know, I'm not making any, I'm not monetizing this video. I'm not making any money off of it. Fair use.
October the 7th in Gaza.
I think that the Palestinians, as you said, you see, I said Palestinians, the Gazans and all Arabs around should stop attacking Israel.
Right, I just asked you how you thought about 20,000 children being killed by the IDF. So how do you feel about that?
I think that the parents should be very careful before they teach the children to hate Jews and to kill Jews.
No, that wasn't my question. That wasn't my question. Sorry to be persistent, but my question.
That was your question.
My question was, how do you feel?
Answer.
My question was, how do you feel? How do you personally feel about over 20,000 Palestinian children now being killed since October the 7th in Gaza? How do you feel about that?
I think that Arabs, Gazans, or Jordanians, or Syrians, whoever, should be very, very careful with the way they educate the children.
Yeah, that wasn't my question. That wasn't my question.
Many of them.
Can you answer my question?
Answer. That was my answer.
So you don't care? You have no thoughts about these children at all?
You choose your questions, and I answer them the way I believe is right.
But just to be clear, you have nothing to say about 20,000 children being killed. Nothing at all.
I have a lot to say about everything that happened as a result of the massacre of the 7th of October.
I understand you care about Israeli children who died, as do I. But I'm able to care about both sides of children who've died. Why don't you care, seemingly, about the Palestinian children who've died? Why can't you express any sympathy or sorrow or empathy with the children who've died in Gaza? Are you able to do that?
I warn all Arabs from all sides, from all borders, warn them, stop educating children to hate
So just
Jews
to be clear, I've now offered you three times.
I made myself very clear.
Oh, you've made yourself very clear.
You asked me 5 times.
I'm going to give you one last.
You asked me 7 times.
Okay, I'm going to give you one last chance to offer some empathy or sympathy or sorrow about the deaths of 20,000 children in Gaza. Are you capable of doing that?
I can tell you that had you cared, and I don't believe you that you care a tiny bit about one killed person, if you do not use the means that you have as a media person to stop educating children.
I gave you 4 chances.
Jews. Right. Okay, you gave me 7. You gave me 7.
And you know what? You couldn't give a damn, could you?
That you are to blame more than me.
You don't care. And all you want is all the Palestinians gone. You can barely even bring yourself to say their name. All you want is to take over the West Bank and Gaza. You don't care how many die in the process. You want them all gone. You don't care, do you? That's the bottom line.
As said, the audience.
There you go, man. You see how wicked and demonic these small hats are? See, look, I said this is Edom in its truest form, man. All right, these goddamn small hats are ruthless, vile, base people. You know, she said it herself. You know, here it is. You know, what was the first thing she did? She pulled the victim card. Oh, this is a result of October 7th, blah, 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 which we all know, you know, the bullshit behind all of that. We know that, you know, that attack was, you know, it was known beforehand that it was coming, and they let it happen because they ultimately wanted to let that be a justification of what they're doing right now. I just read an article before I did this video. They just killed about another 1,000, a couple hundred. I don't know if it was 1,000 or a couple hundred Palestinians that was trying to get free aid and free food. They ran up to try to get the food, and they just let them have it, man. Just unloaded on them. And I'm pretty sure it was mostly women and children and civilians, man. But like she said, you said it 7 times. So basically she sold you, which we know 7 is the number of completion. She sold you just a complete number of times, you know, their soullessness, man. All right. And just how evil and how vile and how wicked these people are. And this is where all of your American taxpayer dollars are going, is to support these type of individuals right here, man. And these people are demonic. They're evil, you know, and like I said, you can see the smugness on her face, and I don't know. I'm pretty sure y'all heard it. Did you hear her little smug, condescending laugh? These people are wicked as all hell, man. Hey, and this is why, like I said, hey, when the Lord starts really opening up in the floodgates of judgment on these Edomites, man, on these small hats, on Amalek, hey, man, ain't nobody gonna bat an eyelash, man. You see, because these people, man, they deserve everything that they get, man. And they're wicked, they're vile, and they're just, you know, children of Satan, man. So let me get this precept and I'm going to close it out. This is Psalms 58 in the NLT. Psalms 58:1. It says, justice. Do you rulers know the meaning of the word? Do you judge the people fairly? No. You plot injustices in your hearts. You spread violence throughout the land. And this is what that whole October 7th attack was really all about. Like I said, they had prior knowledge that shit was coming. They knew it was coming, but like I said, they intentionally let it happen. So they'll let their own people get slaughtered, let their own people get sent back to the spirit world in order to what? To take control of the West Bank, of Gaza, of Palestine, so that they can get control of that whole region, the Holy Land, which is not theirs in the first place, man. You see? So these people are the wicked that the Bible speaks of, man. Read that again. It says, no, you plot injustice in your hearts. You spread violence throughout the land. These wicked people are born sinners, like that woman. You saw it. You see it in her eyes, man. You know she's an evil, vile, wicked woman, man. All right. It says these wicked people are born sinners. And that's what Esau Edom is. From the womb, they were created to be the devil that the Bible speaks of. A deceiver, a liar, a swindler, a corrupter. You know, it says even from birth, they have lied and gone their own way. You see, It says they spit venom like deadly vipers. They are like cobras that refuse to listen. Yeah, you see, Pierce Morgan was asking her those questions. Do you care about those Gazan children that died? You could just see it. She was just, heartless, man. Just heartless. Okay. It says, and even though neither one of them belong in that land, but we know that the way that those small hats got into the land and how they've been stealing and pillaging and doing all type of wickedness in order to, ethnically cleanse that land of those Palestinians. Like I said, even though neither one of them belong there, but we've seen how the small hats have gotten in there and how they've been behaving themselves since they've been in that land, man. Terrorist attacks, bombings, et cetera, et cetera. You see, it says ignoring the tunes of the snake charmers, no matter how skillfully they play. Right. No matter, you can't tell them nothing. All right. They have their heart set that they're the real chosen people, which they're not, and that lands belong to them. And by any means necessary, no matter how wicked and deceitful and dishonorable, and even if it violates their so-called laws, if it violates any agreements that they made, they don't they're going to take it to any means necessary in order to take that land by force. No matter how many laws they violate, how many white women, men, how many children and women or innocent civilians or hospitals they got to bomb, schools they got to blow up, no matter what. If they got to starve millions of people, they're going to do whatever they have to do in order to get that land. And they're not going to be, persuaded otherwise, man. Demons, man. It says, break off their fangs, O Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, smash the jaws of these lions, O Yahweh. And that's what the Lord is going to ultimately do. And we're just seeing, the Lord setting the stage for this to eventually take place. This is why everybody is against these small hats. This is why everybody is speaking out against them. People are, you got nations right now trying to come together to hold them guilty on violating a lot of war crimes, man. But we know ultimately it's going to fall on deaf ears. It's not going to really produce much until Yahweh Shai comes. That's when their jaw is going to get rocked. That's when they're going to get really judged and dealt with properly and judged righteously. It says, may they disappear like waters into thirsty ground, make their weapons useless in their hands. May they be like snails that dissolve into slime, like a stillborn child who never sees the sun. The Most High will sweep them away, both young and old, faster than a pot heats over burning thorns. You see? Since they have not hated blood is going to pursue them. Since they don't mind killing innocent civilians, women and children, guess what? Their young women and children are going to be swept away at the judgment of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. You're going to reap what you sow, Amalek, you small hatters, you damn devils. It says the godly will rejoice when they see the injustice avenged. And that's what we're going to do. That's why we're patiently waiting on the return of Yahweh Shai, because he's going to be the one that's going to avenge. He's going to bring justice. He's going to bring true judgment upon this earth and upon these nations. It says they will wash their feet in the blood of the wicked. Then at last, everyone will say, there truly is a reward for those who live in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, which is the elect. Surely there is a God who judges justly here on the earth. And we're going to see that true judgment and justice come when Yahweh Shai comes back. And all these devils going to get, they're going to get exactly what they deserve, man. Hey, the punishment is going to fit their crimes, man. And that's why eventually there's going to be no more ever remaining of Esau ever again, man. They're all going to be wiped out of the face of the earth after their 1,000 years of slavery in the kingdom of heaven, because there's going to no longer be needed anybody to play the role of the wicked. They're going to vanish forever. They're going to vanish like their own dung. They're going to be wiped out of this earth as if you waking up from a dream, and they're never going to be heard of or seen from ever again, man. So with that, Lord willing, this was edifying. I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai for putting the spirit in me to do this lesson. All right. Lord willing, this was edifying. And, hey, man, the devil going to get these. Yahweh Shai is going to get these devils, man. So until the next one, I say shalom.